welcome back to All Things Gumball, where we talk about the vending business. And when I say vending business, I'm talking about this kind of vending machine. It's called the bulk candy vending business. You're going to buy everything in bulk. And people have asked me, why am I spending my time on this size vending machine instead of the larger Coke machines and the larger snack machines and the potato chip machines? All right, I'll tell you a little story about what made me decide to stick with this. I buy my candy at Sam's, and I buy them in bags like this up here. And one day I was walking out of the store with about 20 bags of candy in my shopping cart, walking to my car, and this guy approached me as I was coming out the door, and he says, "Hey, do you mind if I talk to you?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem." And he said, "It looks like you do the candy vending machines, the gumball vending machines." And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he says, "Well, I've got about 5 or 6 for sale. They're in my garage, and here's my phone number. And if you'd like to buy them, let me know." And I said, "Sure, yeah, no problem." And he had a shopping cart that was what you would call a flatbed shopping cart. It's very long and it's flat. It's low to the ground, and you can put cases of soda pop on top and water bottles, and it can handle a lot of heavy items. And he was loaded up with Cokes and snacks, potato chips and Snickers bars and all kinds of things. And I said, "Well, it looks like you do the little, it looks like you do the snack machines and the Coke machines." And he said, "Yes, he said, "Yes, I do." And I said, "Do you mind if I ask you a question?" He said, "No, not at all." And I asked him, I said, "Well, how many machines do you have working?" And he says, "Well, I've got about 55 snack machines, and then I've got about 55 Coke machines." I said, "Okay, well, that's quite a bit." And I said, "Well, how many days a week do you work?" And he said, "Well, I work 7 days a week. It's a full-time job." I thought, wow, okay. Now, at the time, I only had about 100 of these, so I didn't know what full-time meant to have a vending machine full-time. But I'm asking him, and he says he's working full-time 7 days a week. So I asked him what his profit was for 1 month. And he said, oh, and he was proud of it. He said, "Well, my profit is $4,000 a month." Now, at the time, I thought that's pretty good. I mean, I was waiting tables at the time, and I was making probably $2,000 a month profit. So I thought, well, that's a good amount of money. Now, I never bought the Coke machines and snack machines, but I wanted to. A little time after that, about a week or two, or maybe a month later, I was on Craigslist, and I saw an ad for a vending machine for sale. So I thought, I'll call the guy and say I want to buy it. And it was pretty cheap, like $80 or whatever. So he gave me his address of where he works and his business and all that. And I drove over there, and it was a warehouse, a little medium-sized warehouse, and it was full of vending machines. It was probably like 1,000 vending machines, similar to this one here. All over, 1,000 of them. And I bought one, and I said, "Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?" And I asked him the same questions that I asked the other guy. First of all, I said, "Well, how many vending machines do you have that are working?" You could see a lot of them were not working. They were in the storage. But he said he had 1,000 vending machines that were out, and they were working. And I said, "Do you work with anybody? Are you working with anybody? Is anyone helping you?" And he said, "No." He said he takes care of 1,000 vending machines like this one by himself. And I said, "Well, how many days a week do you work?" And he said 7 days a week. It's full time. So we have 2 guys. Okay? One guy does the Coke and snack machines. He works 7 days a week. The other guy does the gumball machines, like this one, and he works 7 days a week. This guy has 110 with the Coke and snack machines, and this guy has 1,000 with the little gumball machines. This guy over here, he's making $4,000 a month profit. And I said to this guy, "What's your profit per month?" And he was beaming, and he says, "I make $10,000 a month." And you may think that's kind of impossible, but if you look at the numbers, it's not impossible. If you go to Google and type in national average for bulk vending machines, the national average is right around $10 a month profit. And if you have 1,000 of these, that means you're going to make $10,000 a month profit. And you may ask yourself, well, how does a person take care of that many machines? Well, we'll get into that in another episode. I hope you're enjoying these videos. And give it a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe, and let us know any comments. Ask us any questions. We'd be happy to answer those. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good morning.